Hi everyone, Happy New Year's Eve. Everyone got their resolutions ready? Why bother? You're gonna forget them by February, just like 2015. When Ian asked me to do a piece for Swamp Radio, the New Year's Eve special, I was honored. When he said, why don't you talk about the Chinese New Year? I was a bit more tentative. I said, Ian, I don't know much about Chinese New Year. And he said, don't worry, just talk about what it means to you. And make it 5 minutes long. Okay, fine. Every Chinese New Year since I was 4, I woke up bright and early every morning. I wiped the sleep out of my little eyes, and I ran down the stairs to check if the New Year's dragon had visited our home in the night. Some years, if we were lucky, he'd leave woks full of firecrackers that symbolized the raging fire in his belly. Or if we were luckier, envelopes full of cash, symbolizing the fortune he protected in his cave. When everyone else in the house woke up, we'd gather together and eat a meal of dumplings, which represented his eyes. By eating them, we hoped to gain his foresight for the new year. Then, after the plates were cleared, we'd gather our most cherished belongings and set fire to them to represent the destruction that was wrought by the dragon, and begin our new year fresh with a clean slate. I'm not Chinese. And I've never been Chinese, and I'm not close enough to my Chinese friends to celebrate New Year's with them a la tradition. So I don't know anything about Chinese New Year's. I guess I could have done my research and then told you guys about that, but then that would basically mean my 5 minutes would be vomiting Google all over you guys, and honestly, that's gross, right? It's not as gross as real vomit, but it's pretty gross. So I just made all that up. I lied. I made up a whole bunch of garbage because who would know? Ian's no expert. It's not like he was going to stop me and say, hey, now, that's complete garbage that you pulled out of the air. I could have also probably have just told him, Ian, I'm not Chinese. I'll just do something else. But where's the fun in that? It's not every day that you get to make your old high school teacher look like an idiot in front of an audience. I'm Korean American. Ian, I'm Korean American. That's spelled K-O-R-E-A-N. But my family's Korean, but I was born and raised in America, so I'm American. My whole generation, though, my cousins and my brother, we barely speak Korean. We don't keep up with Korean news. We don't date Koreans. Heck, my cousin is converting to Judaism so she can be with her boyfriend. It's difficult to keep up with two cultures. There are two distinct mindsets, two value systems, and so in the end, I'm in the middle of this tug of war, and honestly, the Korean side is losing. I don't have the language. I don't have many Korean friends. I mean, I was writing this piece for the last week, and it got me very depressed because I was like, how do I feel about this Korean culture? Do I actually value it? I mean, I'm shedding this Korean identity. Would my kids or my kids' kids remember their Korean roots? Yes. You know why? Korean food is so damn good. Thank you. I know what you're thinking. Food. Donald, you pig, where's your heart at? What about family? Food is how I connect to my family. It's how I connect to my culture. My earliest memories are of my grandmother in the kitchen over a pot of hot oil. She's making Korean double-fried chicken. It's the best thing in the world. Or my mom crafting dozens of kimchi mandu, these spicy cabbage dumplings. She's using a recipe handed down to her from her mother, who got it from her mother before her. You know, my limited Korean vocabulary I talked about, 90% food. Kalbi, kalbichim, mandukuk, dakguk, panchan, everything I know is food. My family has very few traditions. I mean, every year, each holiday is a disorganized, last-minute mess where we try to figure out whose house we're getting at, what time, who's bringing who, but we always have the same foods. Because if we change that up, it would be sacrilege. I mean, New Year is coming up. Every New Year, it's got to be dakguk. That's a rice cake and beef soup that is simmered until it's almost as thick as gravy. These rice cakes are cut into these little coin shapes to represent coins, to represent good fortune in the new year. I'm not making that stuff up, that's real. And my mom, she makes the kimchi mandu, like dozens of them, mountains of them, that we eat for the next week. And when I bite into them, and I get that mixture of sour and spicy taste in my mouth, I know that my kids will know this. I may not be able to teach them the Korean alphabet, but I will teach them how to use overripe kimchi to make a stir fry, how to pour in water to make that last bit of crisp rice at the bottom of the hot pot just taste so good. They may not be able to speak Korean, but my kids will know how to eat like they're Korean. And that's my resolution.